Hello and welcome to a new video here on my channel, here at commaikEnglish, on the topic of lawn irrigation. After I already compared the Hunter i20 gear-driven sprinkler with the Hunter MP Rotators in one of my recent videos, in this video I'm going to compare the Hunter MP Rotators with the highly efficient and innovative Rain Bird RVAN nozzles, which are designed for superior water distribution and conservation. So you can definitely look forward to it with great anticipation, as we are just about to get started with this exciting demonstration and detailed explanation. We are truly on the verge of beginning this comprehensive overview. A few weeks ago, I already did the first comparison test. In that test, I compared the Hunter 120 gear-driven sprinkler with the Hunter MP Rotator. You can find the corresponding video at the top right of the screen, or just check the video description. In the video comments, you expressed the wish to see a comparison between the different nozzles from Hunter and those from Rain Bird. Of course, I'm happy to fulfill this request. And today we're going to do a test with the Hunter MP Rotator and its counterpart from Rain Bird the RVAN nozzle. Before we get started, a quick note. I do not receive any payment or compensation from either Hunter or Rain Bird. What I'm sharing here is solely my own subjective opinion. If you want professional advice, you should consider consulting a specialist. But if, like me, you want to build the system yourself and are looking for the right products for it, just take a look at the description below my video. There you'll find not only the various manufacturers' websites, but also the appropriate product links. Before I pit the two nozzles against each other, I'll take you into my workshop and we'll take a closer look at the parts first. And just like that, we're in my workshop. I've got both of them here for you. I've laid out the two nozzle models. On the right is Rain Bird. On the left is the MP Rotator from Hunter. This is the MP 2090 to 210 model. That means that within an angle from 90 degrees to 210 degrees, the throw radius can be adjusted. The possible throw distance ranges from 4 up to a maximum of 6.4 meters. With Hunter, you always need a key to adjust the throw distance and angle. This is the one here. It has to be purchased separately. In addition to the MP 2000, there are also the MP 800 SR and MP 815 models for short throw distances. The MP 1000, MP 2000, MP 3000 and MP 3500, on the other hand, are for longer throw distances. Additionally, for each model in the MP series, there are 3 different throw angles to choose from, namely the 90 degrees to 210 degrees variant, the 210 degrees to 270 degrees variant, and the full circle variant with 360 degrees. Special corner models and nozzles for elongated or narrow irrigation areas complete the overall range. So if you want to install an MP Rotator in your lawn irrigation system, you need to select the appropriate sizes in advance, since the flexibility for the individual nozzles is limited. Since water pressure also plays a crucial role, I recommend using a pressure-regulated housing like this one. This is the Hunter Pros 04 PRS 40 CV housing. This housing reduces the incoming water pressure on this side and regulates it to a constant 2.8 bars. In addition to the Hunter nozzles, Rain Bird nozzles also fit here. The Gardena nozzles are also said to be compatible. That would of course be a real advantage. The water consumption with this combination is about 3.26 liters per minute. So per irrigation circuit, you can operate significantly more sprinklers than, for example, with my i20 gear-driven sprinklers, which sometimes require almost 10 liters per minute. Here on the right in the picture, you can see the matching counterpart. The RVAN nozzle from Rain Bird. This model is designated as the 1724. According to the product sheet, this model has a throw range of 4.3 to 7.1 meters and can be freely adjusted within an angle of 45 degrees to 270 degrees. For adjusting the throw distance and spray angle, this nozzle does not require a key. Both can be adjusted with just your fingers using the adjustment screw zone here, and also on the nozzle head. By firmly pressing and carefully turning it, you can precisely adjust its spray pattern and radius. Additionally, it's important to note that there are also several distinct and innovative versions of the RVAN nozzles available, each designed with unique features and specific applications. The RVAN 14, the 18 and the 24 variant. The throw ranges vary from 2.4 to 7.3 meters. However, in contrast to the Hunter MP Rotators, there are only 2 different versions per model when it comes to the radii. One is the 45 degrees to 270 degrees variant and the full circle with 360 degrees. Of course, the special strip nozzles for elongated and narrow irrigation areas are also available here. You'll find the links with the manufacturer's information, the sources for purchasing, and of course the important tables to help you calculate the individual nozzles, and to be able to position them you can find below in my video description. I'm now going to install the Rain Bird nozzle into the same pressure regulated Hunter housing. A suitable housing from Rain Bird would be, for example, the Rain Bird 1804 pop-up sprinkler. However, this one does not have pressure regulation. That makes adjusting the individual sprinklers in the circle a real test of patience. Because the water output in the circle constantly changes as soon as you adjust one of the sprinklers. Whether Rain Bird also offers a pressure regulated housing, I can't really say at this point, but I believe that the 1800 housing regulates the pressure to 3.1 bars. That is, in fact, the recommended operating pressure for Rain Bird nozzles. Hunter recommends 2.8 bars. That's exactly the range that this housing regulates to. So for my test setup, the Hunter combination has a slight advantage over the Rain Bird nozzle, which would get 0.3 bars less water pressure. I can't say whether that has any effect. Let me know your experiences with this in the comments below the video. But that's enough theory for now. Let's head back out to the garden. Here in the picture you can see my test setup. I attached both housings to the scabion basket using cable ties and connected the whole thing to the water source with a garden hose. Now we can get started. But first, a few thoughts on adjusting and fine-tuning the nozzles. I'll start on the left side with the Hunter MP Rotator. As soon as I turn on the water to the system, the pop-up riser emerges from its housing and starts watering the lawn. Now, using the Hunter adjustment key, I'll set the throw distance and the spray angle so that the sprinkler covers a 90 degrees area. The throw distance is adjusted at the top using the small screw. Turning it clockwise reduces the throw distance by up to a maximum of 25%. With the ring on the key, I can then adjust the spray angle. Turning it clockwise opens up the angle. The left edge of the spray pattern is always fixed. However, by firmly turning the pop-up riser, you can precisely set the left starting point exactly where you truly need it to be. On the right side, I have installed the Rain Bird RVAN nozzle. As soon as I turn on the water to the system here, the sprinkler also starts. The angle is adjusted by pressing and turning the spray head. The throw distance is set on the side of the nozzle using a small adjustment wheel. For both, turning to the right increases, turning to the left decreases. Both adjustments can be made completely without tools. In my opinion, this is a major advantage over the Hunter MP Rotator. After aligning both sprinklers, I now let them run for a good 15 minutes on my test course. As you can see, I have carefully and precisely set up my test bowls at exact 1 meter intervals, positioned at a 45 degrees angle to both of the sprinklers, so that I can later accurately read off and determine how well the water is actually distributed across the entire area. But let's take a closer look at the spray pattern. In a direct comparison, you notice that the spray patterns of both nozzles are similar but not identical. The Rain Bird nozzle, shown here on the right, sprays in a more three-dimensional way and at different heights. The spray pattern of the Hunter nozzle on the left side is noticeably more uniform. Let's see which one is more effective in the end. What I always find particularly interesting about these nozzles is their susceptibility to wind. The i20 gear-driven sprinklers from Hunter that I've installed so far are relatively robust in this regard because they have a fairly strong water throw. With the MP Rotators and the RVAN nozzles, I'm not so sure about that. For this reason, I'm simply going to simulate a strong crosswind now. Let's see to what extent the water jets can be deflected. The wind test wasn't that easy. Maybe I should have put on rain gear, but what matters is the result. And I have to say, I'm actually quite surprised in a good way. In my opinion, the water jets are very resistant to wind. That means even in strong winds and storms, the system can be operated without the water jets spreading out too much. The 15 minutes are up. It's time to draw a conclusion. I'm going to place the water bowls side by side now to get a better and more comparable picture. I've set up the bowls next to each other and of course haven't changed the water level. On the left is the Hunter MP Rotator and on the right is the Rain Bird RVAN nozzle. After 1 full meter, the vehicle will have moved. Here I can observe a slight yet noticeable advantage on the left side for Hunter. After 2 meters, the situation remains consistent. There's actually a pretty clear advantage for the Hunter. After 3 meters, here, I think we're almost back to a tie. 4 meters, at that point, Rain Bird takes the lead. And after 5 meters, it's a clear picture. A clear win on points for Rain Bird. And that brings me to the end of my little experiment. Basically, the two nozzles saw rather, the two manufacturers differ only slightly. Both deliver very good quality and water the lawn evenly. The threads on the nozzles are identical, so you can swap them with each other. I really like that. The Hunter nozzles are a bit more effective at close range. At a distance, Rain Bird plays to its strength. However, a clear advantage goes to the Rain Bird nozzle, since it can be adjusted completely without tools. Still, I find it hard to declare a winner. What do you think? Give me your feedback down in the comments. In the description, you'll also find all the important links to the manufacturers and of course the relevant product links for recreating this. Of course, you'll also find my playlist on garden irrigation there. please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and activate the bell. That would make me really happy. With that, thank you so much for watching. See you again next time. Bye for now.